me do this. We can't do a YouTube live until we have 50 subscribers.
I will subscribe.
Apparently.
I need to subscribe then.
That's fine. Okay, so do you want to preview to the questions before we start, or do you just want to have the raw?
Let's just have the raw.
Raw.
Might as well go for it.
Okay. Cool. And we're gonna start recording now.
Okay.
Making it fun. Okay, what's up, guys?
Hello.
Welcome to episode 3 with the amazing Emmie Pixley.
Hey guys.
So we're gonna have somebody start real fast with the question that everyone's gonna ask because they all ask the same question. What is Emmie short for?
It is actually short for nothing, people. My full name is Emmie. So now you know.
You've got the coolest last name though. Like that's gonna be a bummer when you.
Pixley.
I mean, not bummer, but when you get married, it's gonna be like.
I know.
You're gonna keep that?
I don't. Maybe we'll do like a hyphenated. That's like a compromise, right? A little bit of everything.
Yeah. I think that's. Everyone has their own opinions on that. So.
True.
But so she really has no idea what's coming her way. We're just gonna throw some questions at her, see how she does. So, what is the best or most memorable meal you've ever had?
Oh, that's a good question. Okay, I gotta think about that. Ooh, one that comes to mind right away was the first time I ever ate at Loveless Cafe in Nashville. I ate lots of biscuits and then I had chicken and waffles for the first time. That was my first time having chicken and waffles, and it was 10 out of 10. That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Chicken and waffles.
Some good old soul food.
I don't even. Somebody created it and they're like, oh, this is amazing. We should keep doing that. And then it became a tradition at some point.
It's delicious. But I am a good fan of Mexican food too.
Yeah,
I always think chips and queso.
So Joey's episode, he talks about free queso and how to get access to free queso, but it requires a bit of a road trip. Yeah.
Oh.
So, anyway, okay, what Disney character do you relate to most?
Ooh, that's a really good question. That's gonna make me think because I really like Disney movies. Oh, I don't know. I guess Ariel a little bit because I have a ton of sisters. I have lots of sisters, so I feel like that's...
You don't seem as rebellious as Ariel.
No, I'm most definitely not.
I'm like... So hang on. What do you relate to most about Ariel? Because that was your first response, so let's stay with Ariel. What are the things about her...
Well, she has lots of sisters.
Right?
That's one. She loves to help people. I feel like she's she's a helper.
True.
And... she sings a bunch, but she's like willing to give up her voice for someone that she loves. That's a pretty big deal right there because I like to sing, and that would be like a big sacrifice to make for me.
So do you sing anywhere here locally?
I do. So I lead worship at Connection Church in Columbia. So
great people.
Yes.
Pastor Eric, shout out to you. You're an awesome person.
Facts.
Yeah, great people there. Okay, awesome. So might be a little bit of a. No, I'm just gonna. What would you tell yourself? What advice would you give to your 16-year-old self?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Pray always. Love God first and remember that His love is the only perfect love. And just keep working. Keep going. It's all worth it. It gets easier.
Does it?
Well, or I guess a better way to say it would be you adapt more. You learn more, you grow more, you get better at understanding life and people and...
Yeah, and I think part of that too is probably that you develop a little bit of more patience.
Yes, definitely.
And so it's not that it gets... that's your opinion.
Easier.
I'm not saying that your opinion is wrong, but it's
not that it gets easier. I think you adapt more. And it starts... I guess when I was 16, everything felt so hard and I thought I would never be able to get past it. And now... I'm about to turn 20, and now which is still young, I know. But
hey, but that's a good one. You get to right there. Yeah, that's fun.
But you learned that it will all be okay. God's plan is perfect, and you learn to go with the flow a little bit more. So
roll with it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good answer. Okay.
Thank you.
What is a local hidden gem to do or experience around here? So Thompson Station, Columbia, Spring Hill. It can even be Nashville, but for the most part, I think people are in this, the Maury County area.
Oh my gosh, that's a really good question. Oh, I'm gonna have to think about that.
It can be. I mean, it can be like there's a place at the park where you sit on this bench and you watch the sunset. It's amazing. Or there's a place where you get chili dogs in Colombia. Where I mean, like it can be anything. But in your opinion, the hidden gem where you bring somebody to town and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to let you experience this.
Oh man, I gotta think about that one.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh, that's a really good question. I love Hattie Jane's ice cream, but I'm a big ice cream girl.
Yeah.
That's one. And
So what is Hattie Jane's ice cream?
So it's in Columbia. I actually think there's multiple locations, but I could be wrong. It's in the square in Columbia, inside of Puckett's, and it's such good quality ice cream. I'm an ice cream girl, so that's way to my heart right there.
And the square in Columbia is just amazing as it is.
Yes.
It's like
there's so many things.
Yeah.
You can eat, get coffee, you can shop.
Yep.
So much fun.
Okay, so Hattie Jane's in Puckett's on the square in Columbia, definitely hidden gem.
I think so.
So
and Puckett's too, but that's not quite as hidden, I would say.
Yes, that's true.
Puckett's is
you have to find Hattie Jane's.
True.
For sure. Do you have anywhere else where you're like, I need to take them to this place? They've only got a weekend, and they're gonna go back to.
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay, I have a good one in Spring Hill, which is bad because I don't actually know the name. I can't remember. But it's a record shop in Spring Hill. It's on Wall Street.
Spinners.
I think so. And it is so cool, guys. I just found out about it recently because I got a record player for Christmas.
Yeah.
They have tons of records for super cheap. And in the very back, there's a little closet, and it has a bunch of like vintage, like authentic t-shirts and jackets that are also really cool. So that, if you like thrifting, you like music, I would recommend. What'd you say?
It's Spinners.
Spinners.
Yeah, Spinners.
So cool.
I'm pretty sure because it's next to.
It's next to a Mexican restaurant over there.
Yeah. Which is also next to Joyful Arcade.
Yes, which is new.
Yeah.
I need to check that place out too.
So nice. I've actually not been in there because I don't have a record player, but I need to get a record player.
It's worth it. I got one for Christmas, and it was best Christmas gift.
I'm just afraid that my children would love it.
That's valid.
And
you
then
have to hide
destroy it. Yeah. So, but I want to get back into the records, and it's fun to see how. Yeah.
Yes.
Even new artists are putting records out because the records are like the trendy thing to do now. So.
It's awesome, and it's so much fun to go and like look through old records, new records, find some good finds. So
you go to Goodwill and do that too?
Sometimes, but I have to be like in the mood for Goodwill. I have to like mentally prepare myself for Goodwill because you never know what you're gonna get.
That is true. That is true. Okay, awesome. So, deeper question. Who is your personal hero or role model?
Ooh, my dad.
Yeah?
Definitely my dad. He's awesome. My dad is Chris Pixley, and he's a pretty cool dude. He loves the Lord, he loves his kids, and he's really hardworking.
Yeah.
But if you've ever met him, you know he's the most humble, kind-hearted person ever.
Yeah,
so,
he really is.
He's awesome, and he's really funny too. So we all love him at Legacy. He's like a Legacy dad to everybody. So definitely my dad.
And it's like Mama Lisa, and they're like, man, they're gonna get it.
We got Dad Chris.
Papa Chris. Whatever.
Papa Chris.
So what is it, if someone were to say that this aspect of your dad reminds them of you, what would be something specific that you're like, I would love to have someone say that attribute or that characteristic is something that they associate with you?
Definitely selflessness. My dad is very like would do anything for other people, and I've seen him do it so many times. So if someone told me that I was as selfless as my dad, it would be like the biggest compliment. Definitely.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, because I mean, you have a lot of sisters, but you're not like you have a unique family dynamic.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so.
Absolutely. Yeah. So 6 girls alone is enough to create an interesting dynamic at home, especially for my dad. But
yeah, for sure.
He's super dad for sure. So
I've got 3 boys, so I have no idea what that's like. I'm the complete opposite.
It's pretty fun.
So, all right. So, in your opinion, how do you define success?
Ooh. For me, it's more about mindset than it is about, or I guess it's more about like, less about the tangible reward and more about the outcome of it. So I guess that's not a good way to explain it, but for me, success looks like making other people happy, being content, Like if I'm like on my deathbed and I can say I'm truly happy and I feel loved and I feel like I loved other people well, then I feel like that's successful. Because I think, to me, this sounds really cheesy, but like you can have all the money in the world and still be really unhappy and really lonely.
Yeah.
And I don't know. To me, successful means having good character creates success. I think loving other people well and people remembering you as a good person and as a loving person. That's what would be, or at least to me, if I achieved all those things, I would consider myself
well, you're like one of the most successful people I know.
Right now, you're too nice.
That's awesome. Those are great answers too.
Thank you.
All right, so coffee question now.
Oh.
We have to have some coffee questions.
That's
We're
true.
a coffee company. So
True.
What is one of the most memorable coffee experiences that you've had? This is not an us plug. This is just
Anywhere.
Yeah, what's one of the most memorable? Doesn't have to be the best. Doesn't have to be the worst.
Like coffee related?
Yes.
Ooh, that's a really good question. I don't know. I think I honestly think my first day here.
Really?
Yes, because I was really excited. Like in high school, I always wanted to be a barista, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be a barista. I'm so excited. It's gonna be so fun. And I had no idea how much coffee knowledge I would learn in the first hour of working at Legacy. But Josh was like, come with me. Like, we're gonna learn all the coffee stuff. And I learned, like, I left being like, holy cow.
Overloaded.
I didn't know anything about coffee before. Yeah, I learned about roasts and regions, and like, I just thought it was the coolest thing. So that would probably be, I still feel like that day I learned the most coffee knowledge like I've ever learned.
So drop some coffee knowledge for people that are like,
oh man, oh gosh, put me on the spot. Well,
no, you don't have to. That's totally fine.
I mean, I know legacy coffee knowledge. I still have a lot to learn for sure. I'm always humbled because we have people that come in that really know their stuff, and they'll ask me questions about coffee. And I'm like, I think you would know better than I would, because we have some awesome people that come in here that really know their stuff with coffee. So it's a learn every day type thing. Was
there something specific that you can remember to that day where you walked away going, oh my gosh, I didn't know this?
I'm trying to think, because I definitely think that there's something specific. I did not know about coffee regions, which is like the basics, but like I didn't realize that all coffee came from like 3 or 4 different regions. So that was really cool. So like there's African coffee, Latin American, Asian Pacific. I think those are the 3 main ones. Yeah. And that was cool. Awesome. So, and I swear I learned something new about coffee every day, especially with Joshua. So
yeah, so for people that don't know, elaborating a little bit about where coffee gets its flavor, you've got those growing regions across the world, and every region is going to have its own kind of baseline flavor profile.
Yes.
And whether you roast it light, medium, or dark, they're just going to have these characteristics and these attributes in general that are associated with regions, and so the coffee gets the flavor literally from what it's grown in. So that's why a lot of people don't realize that you would not get good coffee if you tried to grow it in Tennessee, because it would taste like clay.
Yeah.
It tastes like rocks and clay. So.
Yes. That was like the coolest thing, because I was like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. I think African coffee is like dried fruits, right?
Yeah.
I know Asian Pacific is like a more chocolatey, like nutty flavor. Yeah. I just left thinking that was like the coolest thing, because I mean, before you learn like the coffee knowledge, you would think it's like an artificial flavoring, and so to know that it's like from what it's planted around and that affects like the flavor is
earthiness and like
really cool.
Smells like mushrooms, or smells like peppers, or smells like blueberries, or tastes like, you know, pecans, whatever. Yeah.
Coffee.
So super cool.
Yeah.
All right. Do you know your dad's cell phone number by heart?
I do.
Really?
I do.
Well done.
Thank you.
Good.
He's like my emergency contact, my everything. Like if I go to the doctor and they're like, what's a good phone number? I normally give them my dad's instead of mine, because he's way better at answering the phone than me. So. I
mean, you're still young enough where that can, get by. But
I'm starting to kind of get a little too old for that. But
your dad's like, Emmie, why is Alta calling me?
Yeah, he's like, please go somewhere else.
Please stop doing this. Okay, awesome. So, what is the hardest thing that you've ever done that has paid off with the greatest reward?
Oh my gosh, that's a really, really good question. Hardest thing I've ever done. Probably be a caregiver for my sister. So for those that don't know, I have a sister that has special needs, and she's older than me, but she's completely disabled, so she needs full-time care. So there was a portion of my life there, about a year and a half, where I was the only person that was able to be at home like throughout the day. So I got to take care of my sister, and it's not easy, like for anybody that knows people or has family with severe special needs. It's definitely like, it's hard work, but it's very rewarding.
She's the sweetheart, man.
She is, and she's so funny too. Like, she is the funniest person I know, I swear. She's awesome.
That's definitely something that I don't think anybody has
it's not
an
easy.
idea until you're in it. You know, like I don't I wouldn't know. I haven't been there, so
it's definitely a hard task, and it can be trying at times for sure, but it's very rewarding. I love my sister, and we got a lot closer during that time too, so it's definitely worth it.
Do you have any encouragement you would want to offer to people that are maybe dealing with an adjustment to their family? And
I would always remember that no matter how they act or what they say, they do love you and they appreciate you. It's hard to remember sometimes, especially with people with special needs, because they don't always fully understand like the emotion behind it, but you are loved and your hard work is noticed, and it all pays off in the end.
That's really good. Someone definitely needs to hear that. For
I know I needed to hear that. So
okay, what makes you happy, laugh, or smile instantly?
Oh my gosh, that's such a good one. Okay, coffee and ice cream make me happy. That's a little cheesy, but those are my go-tos. Also, Elijah always makes me laugh like crazy.
Who's Elijah?
Elijah's my boyfriend, everybody. He's pretty cool.
He's awesome.
He's a funny guy, so he always makes me laugh. Dad jokes always make me laugh. What was the last
That's
one?
not true, because I have some really good dad jokes. And
I laugh at them.
Thank you. Courtesy laugh, or are they genuine?
No, genuine.
Okay, that's good.
I think you're funny.
Okay, well, thank you.
So what makes you happy? What makes you laugh? What was the last one?
Oh, either way, what? Just something that
just
makes
in general.
instantly like.
I love The Office too. I know that's controversial. Some people love it. Some
The
people
TV show?
hate it. Yes.
Oh, I was like, because we're in the office.
Well, this too.
Yeah.
But the TV show The Office makes me laugh without fail every time. So don't hate me if you don't like The Office.
Yeah. But I think I haven't watched all of it all the way through, so I can't tell you what season.
Yeah,
But
it's funny. There's some
there are
good
some
scenes
definitely
in
some
there.
funny things.
So,
Steve Carell is.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Whenever I'm having a bad day, I watch the fire drill scene from The Office. It's so funny. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you just need to look it up and watch it for yourself, because it's so funny.
And then you'll know if you watch it and you're like, okay, I can see this happened with Hannah.
The phone. The phone is ringing. I can't reach it.
I don't. I can't either.
We're too short.
This is kind of awkward. All right. Sorry, people on YouTube.
The phone anytime.
Austin.
I don't know if we can.
Sorry,
reach
Austin. I see you. Of course, we keep our.
it. We can't reach it.
All right. Thank you for calling Legacy Coffee Company. This is Joshua. How can I help you?
This is the behind the scenes, guys.
Yes, ma'am. We're trying to get that iPad fixed right now. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
And that's
Real
the
life.
behind
Okay,
the
we're gonna learn,
Legacy
'cause
Coffee Co.
This happened with Hannah too. I'm so
That's
sorry.
So funny. Oh,
Okay, now we know. For next time, put the phone
out there.
They'll be fine. They'll get to it. All right. I'll say. Okay, so next question we've got on here. What are, in your opinion, 3 key elements to a healthy life?
Ooh, that's really, really, really good.
Unplug the phone. Okay.
Right.
No,
Yeah. Okay, this one is gonna sound cheesy, but I was raised on this, and it's treat others the way you want to be treated. I think that's automatically the key to a healthy life, because
we forget that.
yeah, it's easy to forget in a moment of like anger or frustration. You're like, I just want to tell them how I feel.
Well, and sorry, I'm going to take over a little
No,
bit.
you're fine.
I think part of that could be due to how much we rely on technology and like texting versus calling or face-to-face conversation.
Definitely.
You're like, you're ordering your food through an app
Mm-hmm.
versus having to talk to somebody. And so
Mm-hmm.
it kind of gives you this ability to be a little bit more snarky and rude and mean
Mm-hmm.
and frustrated because you're not remembering that there's another person on the other side of that. So,
yes. And with my generation too, it's very much encouraged to just tell everyone how you feel, which I'm not saying, like, I think that that's good in healthy dosages, but I also think it's important to remember to love other people. Like, I know I don't want someone, like, yelling at me or, like, saying something hurtful to me, so I try to kind of keep that mindset day in and day out.
That's
it's
really
not
good.
always easy, but that's important. Another thing that I think for me is important in my life to maintain a healthy lifestyle is reading the Bible and praying. I always have a source of communication there. I can always talk to God about it. And sunshine. That one's like really silly, but like it is important to get sunshine. Like it was rainy and
like
cold,
today.
Guys, for forever, and I was like, I'm feeling so sad. I need some sun. It's important to spend time outside in nature.
Well, so what do you do whenever there's not sun? Because that's not really anything you have control over. You have control over going outside.
That's true.
But if it's frigid, which it has been for a little while,
I normally find other things that make me happy. I listen to happy music, maybe read a book. I love reading a book when it's raining outside.
Yeah.
So nice. And a lot of times I'll get like a cup of coffee.
Coffee.
I mean,
making some coffee. I want some coffee. That's good. No, I agree. Being outside, especially when it's nice outside,
it makes a difference.
Just get out there. A little bit of sunshine makes me happy. All right, awesome. So, who do you know that will always have good advice?
Ooh, that's really good. I already used my dad, so I'm gonna find someone else. My dad always does have good advice. Wes Willett.
Yes.
Wes Willett gives the best advice. If y'all don't know Wes, he's a worship pastor at my church, Connection Church, and he is one of the wisest, most even keel people I've ever met. He's very patient, very relaxed, very calming. But I was just telling Hannah earlier, like, he says some profound things. So I always go to him if I need some good counsel.
Yeah, Wes is awesome.
He is.
And he's got this ability to, you could bring the worst case scenario, everything is falling apart, and he would still be like, well, I think we'll work through it. It's going to be okay. I think there's going to be some good stuff to go out.
Absolutely,
like,
absolutely.
Will you just panic with me, please?
Yeah.
No, but he doesn't do that. Wes is awesome. And he's a bass player
as
a worship leader, which you don't see often.
And he is good. He is dang good at it.
Slapping the bass.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And his daughter's pretty cool too.
Yeah,
Gracie. For those of you who remember Gracie, like
she worked here
walking
last summer.
smile and sunshine.
She is joy in a person. She's so smiley and just encouraging. She's the best.
Yeah. And she's now teaching, so she was following her dream. So we're super proud of
love that
Gracie.
family.
We love that whole family. Yeah, it's hard not to love them at all. Okay, awesome. I don't know if you actually have one of these, but I'm still going to ask you.
Okay.
What is your biggest pet peeve?
Ooh. Okay, no, I do have some.
She's not perfect, everyone.
Far from it, y'all. Far from it. I really don't like when people smack their food. That's like
smack their. Like what do you mean?
Like when you're sitting next to someone and they're eating and they're like.
Chop.
Like chewing with their mouth open, and like I normally try to stay patient, but I'm like, oh my gosh, please don't. It's so yucky. Or on like a deeper level, I think gossip in general always makes me kind of like, please don't, because it puts me in a bad mood. So those are my two: chewing with your mouth open and gossiping. So don't do those around me, people.
Things that we shouldn't be doing anyway. So great.
There you go.
That's awesome. Those are good. I think what's hard for me is because I'm a verbal processor, that I have to make sure that I go to a very safe place because I need to process everything that's going on. And so if you're in the wrong environment, that can be taken as gossip because you're getting out whatever you're feeling or trying to examine and analyze.
Absolutely.
And so if you're in a position where there's things going on and you just need to think it all through, I talk it all through. So if you're one of those people like me to avoid gossip, make sure you've got a safe place to do that, because for me it's really helpful.
Yeah.
But to what you said, it's not good. It's not good at all. So you want to make sure that you're keeping people honored and keeping them safe, which means having a safe place to do that. So.
I've learned the older I
Go to
get. True. I've learned the older I get that there's a difference between gossip and like going to someone for advice. There's a big difference. Like,
that's good.
And it also depends on like how you're talking about the person in the situation. Like everybody has a situation where they just need to get it off their chest, but make sure that you go to the right people and that you're still being respectful while also letting your feelings out a little bit.
That's good.
It's a fine line, but it's a good one to learn for sure.
All right. What is one of the greatest acts of kindness that you've ever witnessed?
Ooh. Oh, I have a really good one. So this is one that someone actually did to my family. We were going through a hard time, and these neighbors that we went to school with their daughters, and they were a really sweet family. They just showed up at our door one time with a lot of groceries, like groceries for like a month.
Wow.
$100 gift card to Kroger. It was the kindest thing anybody's like ever done, like that I've seen. Like it was just kind because we didn't know them super well, but they saw what we were going through, and they knew that they could help, and they had a willing attitude, and
so did they know about it? Did they know just know the difficulty and?
Yeah, so they told us, they were like, we've been there before. We walked that path, and God's really blessed us, is what they told us, and they were like, and we just feel like God wants us to bless back. So that was one of the sweetest things. Another one was I'm friends with a lady who does catering, and she's an amazing chef, like amazing, and
Siobhan?
Yes, Siobhan.
There you go.
We love
Shout
Siobhan.
out to Table 2 Catering.
Table 2 Catering,
nice.
The best food ever. My dad recently got married. Yay, Dad.
Yay, great.
And she was really kind and gave us a really significant discount on the catering, just because I babysit her kids and I love her family, and it was just really kind. So those are two of the kindest acts that I witnessed, like, towards my family, for sure. So yeah.
And those are part of why I bring those up, is that they can be kind of anchors in our past to remind us of when we're going through challenges.
Absolutely.
And difficult circumstances, because to remember, in this case, you remember who God is by seeing what He's done.
Yeah.
And and if you don't believe in God, then that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
The kindness is still kindness.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
You can see that there is kindness out there, and it does exist, and
absolutely.
It's an inspiration to be kind. So
and it's taught me too that if you have a willing heart, to give to people, God will always give back, or you will always receive that back. If you don't believe the same thing that I do, I just believe that kindness doesn't go unnoticed. It doesn't. And having a willing heart, a generous heart, when you are in those seasons of blessing and you're able to give, I always think that's rewarded back. So
yeah,
maybe not in the form of money, but in some form. So I think it's worth it for sure.
For sure. Well, and I don't think, as I'm thinking this through, it's probably not the greatest question to ask people, because for me, in my opinion, those random acts of kindness are the best when people don't know about them.
Yes.
That's when it's the most fun, whenever you're able to do something for someone and they don't know about it. So it's
fun.
What's the greatest act of kindness you've ever seen?
I've seen so many awesome ones.
But there's so many that we don't see. And I think those are the ones that, are super fun, because that's when you're...
And they're super genuine.
Yeah, for sure.
True.
All right, Miss Emmie, is there anything that we as a podcast community, and/or a coffee shop community can do right now that can help you be more successful?
Oh, that's a really good question.
You're doing amazing. I love the way you work. I just appreciate it. Words of affirmation.
I am a words of affirmation girl. So
I'm believing for a new car for you.
Yes, y'all pray for it, because I need a new car. But back to what I was saying about success, about loving well and being loved well. I think just encouragement. I always
encouragement.
I always appreciate encouragement, which all our legacy people are really good at encouraging, so that's a huge blessing. But yeah, I love all the smiles, all the encouragement. That's probably the most helpful thing that helps me get through every day.
Yeah. So remember that sometimes even when people are smiling, they still need to be encouraged too.
True. It's true.
Yeah. So awesome. Well, thank you, Miss Emmie.
Yeah,
this has been Roast and Enrich with Legacy Coffee Company, and we just nailed it by 10 seconds. Holler.
Yeah,
Great
that's
job.
what I'm
You're
talking
phenomenal.
about. Thank
See
you guys.
later.
Nice.
Perfect.
That was so fun.
Was it fun?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That was really fun. I got kind of like, started getting nervous. I was like,